And we are live.
Good morning, evening, whatever the heck in the world you are. I don't even know what I'm saying. It's the one, the only V, the girl economist, and it's the day after Hump Day broadcast because I wasn't here the other day. So me and Bix are doing
Boo,
this. I'm sorry.
boo,
Sorry.
boo.
Such an unfaithful. I'm so sorry. I'm so
And
sorry.
it's the day after Hump.
Hey, I hear my own echo in the background. CJ, you need to meet me somewhere. I'm sorry.
Bix, I think you have the
I think it's Bix.
live stream open.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
It's the day after Hump.
Hey, I hear my own echo in the background. CJ, you need to meet me. What's going on? It's weird.
Bix,
We're
Hey, who's
losing
doing
it.
that? Bix.
live.
Something's going on here. Hey, I hear.
Oh, it can be me.
Ha ha ha. So without further
I
ado,
knew
it's the
it.
man, the
I
myth.
knew it.
It's the man, the myth, the legend, the man who is the Baron of Bitcoin, the Czar of cryptos himself, Bix Weir from the Road to Ruda. How are you, Bix?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been so busy, and I just tried to send out a live link to this because we're doing Thursday instead of Wednesday.
Well,
So I
just
sent out a live link, and I left the player open, so we were getting double double action. Way too many V's and way too many Bixes.
yeah, way too many, man, way too many. But you know what? We're here, and we're doing it live.
Yes, we are.
Doing it live.
And we are in the middle of crypto craziness. Unbelievable stuff going on. Like
Man,
beyond
lots.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
We are
Beyond
on
crazy,
the
man.
brink of the collapse of the old system, and people will be searching for what the hell do we do now, and they will look over to their left and see an entire economy being built with its own cryptocurrency, its own form of regulation, non-regulation, because you don't need regulation when you have a truthful market that is verifiable.
Yeah, exactly.
It is happening right now, and I was just finishing up sending out emails for all my subscribers to make sure you get in on the SALT pre-ICO. Which
Now, what is Salt again? What do they do?
SALT is a decentralized cryptocurrency. Well, it's not a cryptocurrency. It's a membership to a collateralized loan platform where you can pledge cryptocurrencies as collateral for loans, and basically you can keep your crypto, not pay the penalty, the tax penalties for selling and getting capital gains. Keep your crypto and get some cash in the meantime while you can use it for anything you want. There's no credit checks, there's no nothing. So SALT is the link between, you got to be a member, which is the membership tokens. It's the link between the banks and the crypto holders that are wanting to use it as collateral. It's going to be gigantic, especially as the banks start to wobble.
Yeah.
Because right now they'll probably be able to get higher interest rates than because not many banks understand the crypto collaterals. But once they understand that it's probably one of the most liquid collaterals they can own, the rates will go down substantially, and all the banks will be begging to get in. So it's kind of a bridge between the old system and the new system.
Salt.
And it's called SALT Lending, S-A-L-T Lending. I was telling everybody, get in, because they're having a pre-ICO at 85% of the retail price for a SALT token, which is like $10. So they were selling them for $1.50, and it closed out fast. So now you can get them for $3, so you still get 70% off. Just go to SALT Lending, and you got to buy them with you got to buy them with Ethereum now, and I think they haven't even opened up the next round of funding. Now, when SALT gets fully funded, I believe it's 120 million tokens, and their retail price for their token is $10. So it'll be a $1.2 billion market cap for the ICO, which would be the biggest ICO yet, if they sell out. But they don't plan on selling out either. They're saving some of the tokens, and right now you can get them cheap. Go to SALT Lending and check it out. I did for the private room members. I did a full analysis of how it's going to work. What regulatory hurdles that they've already overcome, and a lot more regulatory scrutiny is going to come on, not to stifle innovation and stifle the cryptos, but to legitimize them. and bring them into. I mean, if it is a security, it's going to be. You need to sell it as a security. If it is a software platform, you don't need to sell it as.
What do you think about the SEC's involvement when they're talking about DAO tokens and wanting to crack down on that?
That's what they were talking about. Is
Right.
are these securities that are being sold, or are they software being sold? And it's
Sure.
both. So, and the SEC hasn't defined really what it is that they're going to do. They did say in this, it wasn't a law or anything, in this ruling, that the DAO was actually a security and should have been sold as a security, but they're not going to prosecute them or anybody involved, because the SEC hasn't made the rules yet. And until they fully make these rules so people understand what's going on, it's up to anybody's interpretation of what is being sold. Things like Veritasium, which is a software platform that they're selling for use in that network, would not be a security. Things like a pure token for token's sake as a monetary instrument would be. So it's that kind of vagaries around the cryptos that need to be cleared up, and they will be cleared up. But in the meantime, the SEC and the regulators and the government and even the Fed are keeping their hands off and letting innovation build this new economy, because they know the old economy is going to be imploding over the September, October, November, and into 2018. I think you're going to see a huge shift from the old system to something new, and the cryptos and the blockchain technology companies that are springing up every day now are going to be in prime position to take over where the old system collapses.
Yeah.
Which means we're going to have, the Amazons of the world and the Googles of the world and the Facebooks of the world are in pre-ICO offerings right now. If you look at Amazon, I think Bezos just passed Gates as one of the richest men in the world or something. I saw that on Zero Hedge. But
according to his Amazon shares.
But if you look at, Amazon was invented in 1994, 4 years after the invention of the internet. Right now, we're looking at companies being invented just a few years after the invention of the blockchain and blockchain technologies and the cryptocurrencies. These are the companies that the unknowns are pretty much shaking out and going by the wayside, and all the shakiness of the blockchain technology, the cryptocurrencies, all that, it's all being shaken out and has been fixed, and it's anti-fragile. So every time it breaks, they fix it and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So now we're looking at a pretty strong industry, and people are willing to invest huge amounts of money into building out that infrastructure and for the industry to take over from the old school way of doing things right now in money, in finance, in healthcare, in documentation, in registration, you name it, and the blockchain is being implemented. So that's what I'm doing every single day now, digging into that stuff.
Oh man, totally. It's really changing the entire game, so to speak, and it's there's no going back to business as usual for sure.
Well, who would want to go back to the old system of
I don't.
Capitalism, fraud, banking fraud, unbacked fiat money, printing money at will? I mean, so much corruption going on behind the scenes. What banker went to jail for Bernie Madoff? Bernie Madoff had one banker. Bernie
Madoff did everything by himself, Bix.
He had one banker that approved the billions, if not trillions of dollars that went through Madoff investments, and that was J.P. Morgan. Who from J.P. Morgan went to jail? The board had to approve every single large transaction. According to the approval levels of J.P. Morgan, the board would have had to approve everything about the Madoff investments.
Correct.
Absolutely. And they did approve it.
Yep.
And who went to jail? Nobody. And it wasn't a Ponzi scheme. It was a money laundering factory. That it wasn't Madoff had two floors. The top floor was, Bernie Madoff and his brother and his nephew, right? The second floor was the computer trading floors and the infrastructure and staff within the Mossad and the CIA and NSA, and all the bad guys were down there funneling money around and shuffling it to people who they were paying off. So
Right.
yeah, it was huge. It was 500 trillion, $500 billion, not $50 billion.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that wholeheartedly, man. Bernie got the short end of the stick. He was the fall guy. He was the man that was to be taken down.
Well, he was knee deep in it. You know, he was along with those other guys right next door to him.
Yeah.
What was that? Vincent Viola
Mm-hmm.
was running the same Ponzi scheme, except he went off private and ran his Virtu Financial.
That's right.
Before it was called EWT LLC, and then it turned into Virtu Financial, and they tried to put him as head of the Navy, and it was just, it's just crazy what goes on in the financial world behind the scenes, and the blockchain technology and the cryptocurrencies and these companies are going to take out all the fraud and make everything visible. It's an amazing tool.
No, it truly is, man. It wholeheartedly is. Now you sent me this actually you posted on one of your videos, the veritasium manipulation that these guys are trying to do, especially on the exchange level. I mean, what's going on with that now, man?
Well, if those who are watching Veritasium on Sunday night in the most, I've been through this so many times with silver. I knew exactly what was going on. Sunday night, the most illiquid time on the most illiquid market in the cryptos, the Ether Delta exchange.
Yeah.
Somebody started dumping huge contracts. Now they're saying that it was a hack, and Veritasium, hack of a third party that was coins, $9 million, which is a gigantic hack. But at the time, that would have equated to like 40,000 various Veritasium tokens. Well, we're looking at 10,000 token sale prices, just thrown one after the other, clearly trying to drive the price down. At one point, I took a screenshot, and there was 3 $10,000 token sale offers. So that's 30,000 tokens, or not $10,000, 10,000 token sale offers, which is 30,000 tokens.
Yeah.
And they were offered at 25% below the highest bid. So it was pure fraud, and the whole idea was to drive the algorithm trading models to dump, and then they got to buy back and to jump right back. And so massive manipulation in Veritasium. And Veritasium will never be, I don't think it'll ever be traded on a larger exchange, because it is created to take fraud out of the exchanges. And all these cryptocurrencies exchanges are based on fraud. So them attacking the tiny little Ether Delta site in the middle of the night on Sunday was a clear manipulation of price. I ended up buying a big chunk again, trading Ether for it, because that's the only way you buy it on Ether Delta, is you trade your Ether for Veritasium. And I got in, but a lot of the bids that a lot of the people that were trying to get in at the lower prices could not get in, because of the way Ether Delta lets you post a bid to sell a sale, and you don't even need the full amount in your account, in that part of your account, which is the trading part. It's a mess, and it was pure manipulation. But it soured some people to it, and people got out of Veritasium. I think it's to their detriment, because Veritasium is going to change the way exchanges do business and make it open and honest.
Right.
And they're in Jamaica right now, supposedly going to be up and running with a decentralized Jamaican stock exchange right next to the current criminal stock exchange. But this one will be honest and open, and the transactions will be able to be seen as, yes, this happened, and here's the verified proof of it. So everybody in the old exchange is going to move to the new Veritasium exchange. And then they're talking to one of the top 10 exchanges in the world about doing the exact same thing. It will come to the COMEX and the LBMA. It can save silver. It has the ability to save silver from manipulation. And because it injects truth and honesty in peer-to-peer transactions. That's the key. You don't deal with the JP Morgans of the world, or the Charles Schwabs of the world, or anything. There's nobody in between you, the buyer, and the seller. And that's what's key in peer-to-peer transactions. So it's really exciting. That's just one of 1,000 things that are going on in this whole new world.
I love it, man. I totally love it. Bix, let me ask you this. The good guys' plan for this transition out of the current old, decrepit, dying, corrupt system into this new high-tech one, which I think that you and I both agree is coming in upon us, man. Could you detail that for us a little bit?
Well, yeah, the good guys' plan, as per the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, the road to Ruta stuff that I discovered, their whole plan was to control the monetary system with computers and derivatives, starting in the early 1970s, maybe in the 1960s, with programs written by Alan Greenspan. And they've been running that plan. The whole idea was to blow the bubbles as big as possible, create the largest derivative bubble in the world, pop it, and then return to a gold-backed system.
Right.
That was their plan all the way up probably until 2011. In 2009, with the invention of Bitcoin and the blockchain technology, the whole problem with the whole reason they have not stopped this criminal system is that many people would die. Probably hundreds of millions would die if the entire monetary system collapses. There would be no food, no water, no communication. Everything would just freeze. And so hundreds of millions would die, but you'll get rid of the bad guys and you'll be able to go on a gold standard or a silver standard. That was the idea because that was the only choice. And that was all the way up till the invention of Bitcoin, the blockchain, and the proving that it would work, I think, over the first 4 or 5 years of Bitcoin and all the debacles that went on. Ultimately, it's anti-fragile. It got stronger and stronger. And now the good guys are trying to delay the implementation, the crushing of the old system and the invention of something new by using cryptocurrencies. They're clearly rigging every market, keeping the bubbles afloat, and that's the only thing they can do or everything comes crashing down. So what they're trying to do now, they haven't passed any rules and regulations against Bitcoin or the cryptocurrencies. The only regulations are really protection type regulations, and they're allowing this innovation and this new economy to form to be running side by side with the old system, the old corrupt system. And I believe over the next couple of years, they will allow more and more destruction of the old system and more build out and support of the new system, the high-tech system. And that's their plan to make this transition out, to take the bad guys out, the criminals out, and replace it with something that's truthful and honest so we can move forward. That's their plan, and that's the transition we're going through right now. So expect the old system to continue to die off, but not completely collapse. They'll support it, have a little death of bank here, there, and everywhere, but they'll try to support it long enough for the new system to really gain in acceptance and popularity. And once people see that this new system is based on truthfulness and honesty, and the old system is based on criminality, everybody will naturally migrate to the new system. The key there is if you're an investor looking to invest in these companies and these currencies that we'll be using 10, 20, 30 years from now is the time to do it. You're in the early days, still way early days. It's like when you first heard about Bitcoin, you wished you had bought in when it was $35 or whatever the first number you heard. And now you think the ship has passed you by. Not at all. They are going to allow Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies and these companies to develop and grow, and they're going to allow the price to appreciate. And unlike the old system where they rig the price of silver, rig the price of gold, rig the stock market, and they're still rigging, but it's a supportive rig now for the cryptos. There won't be any crypto crashes anymore. No Mt. Gox is out there, but it will be volatile, but it will be volatile to the upside.
That's good. That's excellent. We have a lot of governments that are recognizing cryptos, legalizing cryptos. We've seen the studies coming out of the figures that are coming out of Japan. Here's a country that's legalized cryptos, and you've seen the absolute moonshot in terms of Bitcoin adaptation in Japan. Now,
it's going on all around the world. And the best thing about it is that a lot of these third world countries, people don't have any banking at all, but a lot of them do have cell phones.
Yeah.
Which is a mobile bank in the crypto world.
Yes, it is. And it's also a mobile decentralized internet, which is soon going to be upon us as well, Bix.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And the whole move towards decentralization, getting away from centralized control, getting away from the government, the Fed, all these people who are throwing rules on us. I mean, our founding fathers did not design a system that was supposed to be so centralized power within the federal government or within any government. They wanted something completely different. They wanted a society based on the natural rights of humans, as John Locke says.
Yeah.
And the natural rights are life, liberty, and property. You have a right, a natural right to live.
What? I thought it was a pursuit of happiness.
Well, the pursuit
No,
of happiness lumps in all these other things as well.
Right, but no, it was life, liberty, and the ownership of property. Correct.
Well, the property part is in order to support yourself, meaning support your life, you need to be able to own and use the product of your labor, right? You need to have some reason to do all this stuff to support yourself, and the way to do that is through property. And liberty, you need freedom from any superior power. I mean, we're born with that. And in life, you have you have the right to live and live your life the way you wish, as long as you don't. That's the other thing. As long as you don't infringe upon other people's life, liberty, and property. That's where government has to come in. And government, the sole purpose of government, according to John Locke, was to secure the natural rights, secure these rights for everybody. So you're going to have to give up a little bit of your natural rights in order to have a government that is able to ensure the rights of every person, not just, you know, a single, whoever's the strongest is going to go to war and destroy everybody else. You need government to help secure those rights. But that's the only reason we need government. Everything else should be taken care of by the individual who was given these natural rights.
Correct. Absolutely, man.
There's my speech. That's a speech I gave in a video yesterday.
I like it. I like it. Here.
Well, it's so true. And people who think that, you know, healthcare is a right.
It's not a right.
They don't.
Just like sexual
understand.
reassignment surgery is not a right.
Well, the healthcare thing is, what you're saying is a doctor should and has to perform all his functions on you, for free. Whereas, see, when you impose a rule like healthcare is a right, you are imposing rules on other people, saying you're taking away their life and liberty and property. You're saying you have to pay for this person's, you know, health and prosperity because that's your job. What that does is take away from the natural rights of another person. You can't hold a gun to a doctor's head and say you have to perform this surgery for free.
Right.
Because this person has a right to health care. And you, Mr. Doctor, are the one who can perform that procedure, so you're the one who has to give it away for free. And on the flip side, the other people will say, no, everybody has to pay. Well, then you're telling everybody you have to pay for this guy's health insurance and that guy's health insurance. That is your responsibility. That's your natural duty.
Right.
And that's bullshit. So it really gets down to what our founding fathers wanted for our country. And those who are saying that the Bitcoin and blockchain technology and electronic money, who lump electronic debt money forced by the government versus electronic money that is an asset with no debt attached and no third party like Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum, those who say that's the mark of the beast and they're going to take over everything. Technology can be used for good or for bad. It can be used to sustain our natural rights and protect our natural rights from government, especially. And if the implementation of blockchain technology is going to hugely limit the size of government. Government will drop by 90%.
Right.
If you just implement easy blockchain technologies into things like voting and licensing and you name it, you can replace almost every government job with that. And the government should only be there to protect your natural rights.
My whole take is government should just be there for providing park benches. That's it. That should be their only function. And
No,
then
they should
national
not at
defense.
all. That's the wrong. No.
Well, what's going to happen, man? What's going to happen to all the people that are generational welfare addicts? What's going to happen to the
What if somebody doesn't want a park bench but end up having to pay for a park bench? That's you're destroying the natural rights of that person.
Fine. Government should do nothing.
How is it? No, see, that's the other thing. That's they call that. What is it? There's natural rights and natural natural.
I call that Galt's Gulch.
Natural. Well, yeah. This goes back to the 1600s. Natural state is when there's no government, and in a situation of no government, all you can have is war because there's no one to protect the natural rights of humans.
Correct.
So that was the argument of
John Locke.
John Locke, was that in a natural state where there is no government, there's no one to protect people's liberties and freedom and life and property.
I agree. The government's only job is
So you
to
have
ensure
to,
liberty and freedom.
you
That's
have
it.
to give up some of your rights to government just for the sole purpose of protecting your natural rights. It's you can go down this path, and there has been no capitalist society in since the birth of capitalism. There has been no truly free society. Everything is a kind of we try to do this, but we don't quite get there. And so we're going to work with a hybrid of whatever it is. And that's, right now our hybrid is so distorted on the government side. Government is in charge of everything. And that's the way they wanted it, because when government controls everything, you turn into a nanny state and you rely on the government for everything. And that's where the United States is right now. And the crumbling of the crony capitalism will really put a lot more focus on government taking care of everything. And that's just what the government wants. And these bad guys want. They want to be the ones to control your lives. So yes, the capitalist structure that is perverted and twisted that we have right now with the Federal Reserve is going to collapse upon itself. And the natural tendency is to go to your government and say, help us, save us, turn us socialist. But if you look on the right next to it, you got the cryptocurrencies that are another alternative. So I really think the crypto economy and the high-tech world is a shot for us. It's not a guarantee, but it's the best shot we got at moving towards something good and away from the tyranny of government and central banking and the criminals who force us to give up our natural rights.
Silver manipulation, Bix. Is it going to end?
I think it will end. It will definitely end if Veritasium gets their hooks into the comics and the LBMA, which would be great. But I do think I think the good guys are planning on letting gold and silver start to trade freely over the next couple months. So we're hovering at 1650 for silver. I think once silver breaks out over $20 again, it's not going to see the teens. They're going to allow it not too fast, because a freely traded silver market would be $700, $800, $900 silver per ounce, right. And then that's if you could find it. And they don't want that because it will cause too much chaos. First of all, it would destroy the derivative bubble, which Deutsche Bank, our friends at Deutsche Bank are in the news today, might be destroying as we speak. Yeah. They missed really bad in their second quarter. They're going to get destroyed in their third quarter. And they're the largest derivative holder. And we've talked about that a million times. They were bailed out a couple of years ago. We talked about that as well. So yeah, everything is going there. So silver manipulation, Deutsche Bank was knee deep in that. I think will be slowly let loose over this year and next year, so that by the time the new economy really kicks in and new exchanges are developed, I think silver will be freely traded within a couple years, which would be great. And you'll see $700, $800, $900 silver. But everything else would change too. So you got to be ready for that.
Well said. Well said. Last but not least, sir, The Economist magazine, The World in 2017 to 2018. Where are we on those tarot cards?
Oh my God. Well, there's two of them I want to talk about. There's two magazines. The first one is the 1987 cover of The Economist, where it has the phoenix coming out of the burning currencies, right? Mm-hmm. Have you seen that cover?
With the gold medallion around its neck.
Yeah, well, yeah. And that cover,
the famous 88 cover.
And it says right on the cover, it says, "Get ready for a world currency." Now, everybody in the conspiracy world said, "Oh my God, it's the one world government," and because the coin around the phoenix's neck said 2018 on it.
Correct.
I mean, this was 1987, or it was 1988.
Right, 88.
And if you think about it, I mean, my God, how did they know? Unless everything was already planned.
Mm.
And all this crap we went through between now from 1988 till now, was it all planned? How did they know? Because clearly in 2018, the economic system will be in question, definitely, and all the currencies will be burning with hyperinflation most likely. And it's a gold coin that Phoenix is wearing around his neck. But there's another thing on that coin, and it has an Illuminati symbol on it. The zero with the slash through it, where the slash penetrates the zero, and has some, and it is clearly showing that on the cover if you look at it. That has some deep Illuminati meaning that I haven't found anybody who really knows what that means yet. But I did hear it was an Illuminati symbol from way back in the 1600s, around where John Locke was. So what that means, I don't know. If you look at the cover of last year's the 2017 World In, I'm gonna pull it up right now. I did a full report on it at the Road to Ruta. You can find it on the general store. Sorry. If you look at that cover, the 2017 World In, let me look at it real quick. It has the tarot cards on the front. And I don't think anything in the tarot cards has come to pass yet, because in my analysis, but I think they're still coming for this year. So we're going to pack in a lot of shit over the next coming days, weeks, months in 2017. The Tower card is a destruction card. And that is, I interpret that as the destruction of the system. And that, I think, is coming in August, September, October. So then everything kind of flows from there. You got Trump sitting in judgment, offering judgment. If he's allowed to do his job, he can use his judgment on a lot of things. Right now, he's still fighting the deep state. I think that'll end soon, hopefully. And then you'll see a lot of arrests for the like a third of Congress will go. And then the third card is the world card, and all these things on there has to do with our monetary system. The pyramid, the all-seeing eye, the Federal Reserve, the Treasury building, and you can see the gold frame picture of the Grand Canyon right in the middle there. All that has to do with the Road to Ruta stuff. I outline it. Go to roadtoruta.com and go to the general store, and you can buy this report. I think it's like $15. But if you look at the Hermit card, it shows the Earth cracking, kind of like an oval with a little line piercing through it. That might be related to the Phoenix coin. Maybe it is a situation where the New Madrid fault splits open this year. I don't know. Cliff High has a lot in his data about the changing Earth in the second half of the year, and we're getting into that second half of the year. So I expect a lot of earthquakes and volcanoes and all kinds of stuff. And then you got the Death card, which is symbolic of ending, an ending of things, and it could be a lot of things. But you notice in every one of these cards in the World in 2017 Economist, they all have gold on them. Every single one of them has gold on them.
Yeah, that's true. That is a very good observation that you made on your part, man.
And then the Magician card is about high technology. And you can see the 3D printer and all that. A lot of people have talked about, will we get 3D printing in a way that was like Star Trek, replicator type 3D printing? Yes, in time, that type of stuff will be part of the high-tech world. If there's anything we can think of, we can invent, and sooner or later it comes to be. And then you got the Wheel of Fortune with all these leaders going to get ousted this year. I think Merkel has the lightning bolt striking her. And then the Star card. The Star card is what this tarot ends with. And the Star card is all about the future and moving forward. And the faces on these gold stars in this picture, and there's an article inside the magazine that has an article or a little bio of all these people inventing new things for the future. There's crypto people. There's all kinds of different technologies and changes that are coming for the future, and it's a very positive card. So the Economist magazine, of all things, that for years has been spelling out doom and gloom, is actually spelling out a chaotic 2017 moving into a bright future.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Very well said.
And it's all outlined. It's all outlined at on the report I did, The World in 2017.
Excellent. And that brings us to the end of the show, man. You've covered a litany of ground.
Lots going on.
Yeah, lots going on. And folks, go to roadtoruta.com, subscribe to his member services. It is incredibly valuable. And Bix, are you still giving away cryptos, man?
I'm giving away $30 in Veritasium for every private road membership. So it's a year-long membership. You get access to all the Road to Ruta stuff and Friday road trips, and you get sent $30 in paper wallet Veritasium to your front door, and the membership is $2.99 for a year.
Excellent. Well, that being said, folks, I'm V, he is Bix, and we are out. Take it away, CJ.